So on number 23 and 22, it was just about using this chart where we know this is the percent of people that are between the average and one standard deviation above and below, okay? But this, number 24, is completely different. It's about distributing that negative. Do you see the negative in between the two parentheses? The first parenthesis can just be completely dropped. The second parenthesis, you just have to distribute out that negative. So it's in front of, can you read this to me? X to the third.
X to the third plus 3x to the second plus 4x minus 2.
So all you guys got to do, distribute that. Negative goes on everything. What if it's already got a negative? Then a negative times a negative becomes a positive. It's like multiplying a negative 1 out throughout this whole thing. You guys get that? And then you just have to add them all together. So the most common mistake there is just not being careful with distributing the negative. And then the very last question is just distributing as in multiplying out things like this. 3x to the third, 2x squared minus blah, 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 blah. You just go this times this. And I'm surprised at how many people struggle with this, but it's just 3 times 2 is 6. And x to the third times x squared, I get it. It could be either x to the fifth or x to the sixth. Do you know which it is? You feel like that should be x to the fifth or x to the sixth? You team 5 or you team 6? Raise your hand if you think it's to the fifth. Raise your hand if you think it's to the sixth. All right. I'm going to give you this clue because a lot of you are getting this wrong right now. X to the third times x squared is different than x to the third squared. That one is x to the sixth. This one is x to the fifth. Okay? It's really common for people to have their powers messed up that way. This kind you multiply. This kind you add. So it's that kind. We're not putting this to a power. We're multiplying x to the third times x to the second, so it's x to the fifth. I think that would have been a very common mistake. All right, so just distributing out terms like that. Now I want to leave a lot of time for you guys to ask me questions and one-on-one come up if you're struggling with anything in the packet, because this packet is due the day you take the final, which I believe for your class is Thursday, and just bring this packet back completely done on Thursday and take your final. Isn't it Thursday? I think it is. I think Wednesday is the first, second, and third class hours, and then Thursday is the fourth, fifth, sixth hours, I think. The only reason you'd ever take a final on Friday is if you had talked to me ahead of time and arranged, like, I can't come on Thursday because I have a track meet. If that happens to you, you could take the final on Friday if you can't make it any other time. Okay, that's all I got for you for today.